Hi everyone, I'm Alina, I'm a third year student and I'm gonna be your host for today's TEDx Student Express. We're gonna cover all the necessary aspects about studying in the Netherlands and especially ICB program. We're gonna talk to some freshmen, some teachers and also some graduates. So we'll see how that's gonna go. Today in the studio we start with Freshman 101, basically the story how your first year is gonna go, and we have in the studio Billy and Charlie. So maybe you can introduce yourself.
So I'm Charlie, I'm 22 years old and I'm from Germany. I'm a second year ICB student and I'm here today to tell you about my personal student experience.
My name is Billy Buckley, I'm 20 and I'm from Ireland. I'm a second year ICB student and I'm involved with ESN and Egerdale as well.
Yeah, perfect. So maybe you can start with how your first year went, and maybe you have some experience or memorable moments you want to share.
So for me, the first year at Inholland was a crazy year with ups and downs. There were a lot of student events from ESN at Egerdale, and it was always fun to be there and get to know new people. And for me, one of the best experiences was Introweek, because it's how you start off the first year, and it's the place where you get to know all the new people.
Yeah, for me it was pretty much a similar experience. Being a part of Egerdale and ESN was a really good decision because I met so many nice people.
Talking about people, do you think it was hard to find friends in here? Because I know that some students are facing this difficulty, and of course now during this time it's going to be online, maybe it's going to be harder. And also I just want to mention, if you have questions you can write them down and we can answer them later, so yeah.
For me, I actually struggled a little in the beginning of the year because I was so overwhelmed by the amount of people that I got to know. So all the friendships were kind of shallow. But then over time, through the group works and attending all the student events, I got closer to people and actually made close friends, like Billy. We met each other because we went to the same class, and at first we didn't really talk, but then we had a project together, and then I wouldn't want to miss him now.
Now we're besties.
See, friendships, you don't want to miss out on that.
Well, for me, making friends last year was difficult because I thought I would meet a lot more people that were the same kind as me, that were on my vibe. But it didn't really work out like that. And then over time, I found my people, and then it was just great from there, really.
But I'm also curious. Do you have a lot of Dutch friends, or maybe you see that there's a difference between you, as an international student, and Dutch people? Maybe you had some cultural difficulties or integration stuff,
Well, for me, so I'm from Ireland, and in Ireland everyone is overly polite and is not direct, and they constantly say sorry. But here in the Netherlands, everyone's polite, but they're very direct. So when I was coming here, I was really surprised at how honest people were to me, and I was like, wow, okay.
Did you sometimes feel like it was rude, Because that's what some people mention.
At first, because no one was ever like that to me, but then I got used to it. But it's a fine thing, it's not bad. Yeah.
No, I feel like it's way better, because in Ukraine, for example, that's where I'm from, people, if they don't like something, they just talk behind your back, which I prefer more. If they have a problem, they just say it to your face, being direct, and then everything is cool, so that's what I love about Dutch people. Shout out to all the Dutchies. So what do you wish you knew before coming to NL? Your first year, maybe you would like to share some tips.
For me, one thing would be that the rent is so high. That I didn't know before I came here. And also the taxes that you have to pay.
Oh my gosh.
Because I didn't know, and then I got the letter and I'm like, oh.
Oh, maybe you can share what kind of taxes and how did you find an apartment?
The water and waste taxes from the municipality.
But there's always a way to get rid of it and not pay it. Not illegal, but
But also, like, I'm not sure if both of you are working or worked in here, but I know that you can get money back from Duo with student thingy. So, do you know about that something or?
I don't do Duo student finance here, so I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. I just know that there are like quite a few student benefits from the government, and yeah, like what is it called?
Free transport?
No, Horteslag. The living benefit, like if you have your own studio and your own like bathroom, kitchen, and like one room, then you can get the
Yeah, true. That's
rent
true.
benefit.
But also, if you work enough hours in a month, I'm not sure how many, but then you can get some money back from the government and also get free transportation. So, you know, keep that in mind, guys, because that's important, you know. What do you think about the learning process during your first year in Holland?
To be honest, I feel like it's a little different than in high school, because here it's all like based on learning by doing, and you don't really feel that you learn things until you like after a while look back and you're like, oh my god, I didn't know that a half year ago or so. So it's like, because you do it learning by doing, it's like not an obvious learning process, I would say.
Yeah.
So that's how it was for me.
Yeah, well, for me, it was completely different because when I was in Ireland, everything I was learning was always theoretical. But when I came here, it was just like, okay, you're in a group with these people, you have this problem, you fix it. And then you just have to look at all the creative solutions. But in high school, I was just learning off formulas and all that kind of crap.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you feel more the adult life, you know, because like
Yeah.
learning by doing,
Yeah.
and it's also, you can feel it like even outside the school, getting used to doing your laundry and cooking for yourself. How did that go for you, like leaving your family and just living on your own?
Well, for me, wasn't too bad because I was pretty independent anyway, but there was definitely times when I was like, oh my god, I have nothing to eat and no money, so what am I gonna do?
Charlie, let's go to Albert Heijn.
Yeah.
Or let's order toast, or just like
Domino's, yeah.
Yeah. For me, it wasn't that hard either because I didn't live with my mom for the last 3 years.
Oh, how come?
Because I went to America and had a gap year there for 2 years.
Impressive.
Just
flex weird.
No, but there are definitely a lot of things, like especially if you have to like do your household, have your assignments, then you have to do a lot of paperwork that you don't want to deal with, sadly. So yeah, sometimes it can be a little overwhelming, but I feel like because of the community spirit at Inholland and because there are a lot of people that are willing to help you, it's not that hard. Still not an adult though, like
I mean, we're trying
getting
to be
there.
Yeah. Okay, I think we have enough time to answer some questions too. I don't know how's it going in the chat. Maybe you can share some. No question, guys. Well, I mean, you still have some time to do so if you want to, but yeah. Well, no questions. Okay, so I think that's it for now. Thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure having you here.
No problem,
Thank
anytime.
We're gonna have a short pause, and then we're gonna move on to one of my favorite teachers in Holland, Leslie Wonders. Shout out to him, who's gonna talk about grading, and yeah. So see you later, guys. Welcome back, everyone. So Leslie Wonders in the studio, so maybe you want to introduce yourself?
Well, you already told my name.
I mean, a little bit more.
Hi, I'm Leslo. I'm working for 17 years already here at the University of Applied Science called Inholland, and still love my job.
What's your position?
I'm a coach, I'm a teacher, I'm a teacher of all kinds of topics. I don't call myself a specialist, but a generalist.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, well, let's talk about grading.
Oh,
maybe
dear.
you can tell our students how is it going at Inholland.
Especially with the creative business programs.
Yep.
Yep. Maybe if I'm allowed to, I'm going back to history.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's okay. Take a while. Okay. When I was asked to sit over here and to say something about grades, I realized that I never had an opinion about grades.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm raised in an educational system where grades were just the most normal thing. You did a test, and either you failed it or passed it. Either you had passed it with a 6, or you were, if you were a very good student, an 8 or 9 or 10, and then you were the bomb. And even at the end of primary school, you had a big test where it was almost kind of decided what kind of secondary school you would go after that.
Yeah.
So if you got good results, then it was good, because then you could go to a higher educational system.
That's true.
Yeah, and that continued over here. Being the teacher over here, I just gave grades to everyone with tests, exams, and that is how it was in the past. We just gave some knowledge to students. And we tried to test if the students understood what we told them.
Yeah.
We tried to teach them some kind of skills, and during training sessions, and we asked students to perform those skills, and if it was okay, then they passed the test as well, and they got a grade for that. But
It's a bit different in our program.
things changed differently.
For the better.
I
Hopefully.
think so, definitely.
No
Yeah.
tests, so
Yeah. Well, first of all, a couple of years ago, one lady on television said, when there was a discussion about educational systems, and one person, I think even a minister, said, well, blah, 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 higher education. And she said, would you please stop calling it higher education? And I was like, that's a good comment. She said there are different focus. One is more theoretical focused education, and one is more practical focused education. I was like, I like that, and that is something I want to give to the students here as well. A grade is not defining you. If your neighbor is passing with a 10 and you barely passed it, or you didn't pass it, it doesn't mean anything about you. Specifically because the last years we don't give grades just for an exam about a small topic. No, we got very complicated topics, we got very complicated modules, which is kind of tough to give grades to it as a teacher. Yeah, because what is exactly a 5.5 or 5.6? Yeah.
So different.
When should we give you a pass or a non-pass? That's rather difficult, that's rather complicated. But still, in the because I'm just so used to giving grades,
Yeah.
there was no alternative for that one. Unfortunately, there is still no alternative for that one.
Just gotta stick good.
You got to stick to it, unfortunately. The good thing, though, is, and hopefully most students realize as well, is that the grade is not saying everything.
And on that note, I want to ask you if you can share a story of a student maybe who was not doing great at school, but maybe has a great experience outside.
Oh,
Probably a lot of us.
I already know someone who's going to be sit here at the table in a moment. One of our graduates. But for now, I got, there was only one exam in year one.
Yeah.
And I got one student last year, of which I was her mentor. She was in the second year and she still didn't pass that exam. So she need to retake that exam and then she can continue with year three.
Mm-hmm.
All the other modules she passed in a very good way.
Yeah.
She set up already her second company.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and doing a great job with that. So I
impressive.
admire her completely, although she didn't pass that exam. But it doesn't define her at all.
Yeah, that's true. That's so true. I know also a lot of my friends who don't pass a lot of exams and they just have their clothing line even, and you know the person. Like, there's so many examples, which is great because you have freedom and you can work on yourself more even if you don't, have the best grades. But you try at least to be better, that's what it is.
Yeah, and then again, the grade is not defining you. If you look at the way we look at each other in society lately, a couple of years everything was about YOLO, and now it's more and more FOMO. And I noticed that with the students, most of the students becoming really perfectionist because they think that you have to succeed in all kinds of way, and that's why I see a lot of students reacting and sometimes even overreacting while they don't pass a module.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm gonna say. Take it easy. Look at the feedback. Look at the journey, and not just at the grade, because it's not defining you. You're great by yourself in the individual you are.
Oh, so inspirational.
I hope so.
But maybe you have some tips for the students to know how to get a better grade. I'm working for you guys.
Maybe you could ask feedback, compare your results. We gave you a little bit more freedom for comparing to the past in how you approach your topic.
Yeah.
So some people think, okay, I can do everything by myself. And we see there is a tendency for students who are not asking for feedback regularly amongst their fellow students, amongst stakeholders, amongst teachers, that they have more problems with passing the module.
Yeah, okay, so you heard that. So hopefully it's gonna be really helpful for you guys. I hope so. Anyways, we want to figure out if we still have some questions in the studio. So if we do, maybe we can work on that. Maybe somebody can read it out loud to me.
What do you like most about teaching?
Oh yeah, what do you? Hoo-hoo.
Oh wow. Only the fact how I came in. I haven't been here at school for half a year. And I saw one student who, from year one, who is now becoming a year two student. He already wrote me an email last week saying, hey, are you going to be my coach next year?
Oh.
And I said, yeah. And I saw him, and I think he was in the middle of a conversation, but I just heard it screaming, Laszlo! And I was like, yes! And it's being a teacher, being a coach, it's the stories of the students which are so incredibly awesome to hear. Everyone is opening up and sharing their lives, their passions, their challenges with me, and that's the best. That's the best. That's inspirational for me.
To be honest, I was also so sad that you're not my personal development coach for this year. It was just like, I know everyone was teared up. You were just like, no, where's Laszlo? We're missing him. So yeah.
Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry, I guess.
No, I'll miss you too.
Oh, stop it. Do we have any more questions? No. So that's it for today, I think. Thank you for coming here, and
You're
we'll
welcome.
see you in a bit, guys.
Good luck.
Waking when the sun's down, riding all these highs, waiting for the calm down. Walk these streets with me, I'm doing decently. Just just glad that I can breathe. Yeah, I'm trying to realize it's alright to not be fine on your own. Now I'm shaking, drinking all this coffee. These last few weeks have been exhausting. I'm lost in my imagination, and there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? Can you come through? Ain't got much to do. Too old for my hometown. Went to bed at noon. Couldn't put my phone down. Scrolling patiently. It's all the same to me. Just faces on a screen. Yeah. I'm trying to realize it's alright to not be fine on your own. Now I'm shaking, drinking all this coffee. These last few weeks have been exhausting. I'm lost in my imagination, and there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through? Can you come through? Yeah. And there's one thing that I need from you. Can you come through?